But the other option was that Kelzer would have theoretically been like the player that was 1-1, and you may have had to play against Kelzer, which is also a really tough break. But yeah, it's tough no matter how you slice it. I really do think that Americas is actually just like a pretty stacked region now.
Yeah, no, it really is. I'm loving it. And I will be the first to say that I really didn't like Latin America and America last year because, well, some of the games were fun, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of games that just, it was unnecessary to watch, right? There's just a lot of fodder, I suppose. This region this year has been so much better. It's only been week 1. This is the start of week 2. This region's been way better this year. As in the bottom right, our blue Zerg. Well, first, probably just for safety, it's Scarlet.
And up here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is none other than Eggs from Platinum Heroes.
So who wins? Big Platinum Bird or 3 stripes that have angles?
Or commercial. Sorry, what? Not commercial. I'm like, oh my god, I feel so embarrassed because I used to work in this industry for so long. E-commerce, e-commerce. Yes. Thank you, Wardy. I definitely didn't work at Amazon for like multiple years and literally lived the e-commerce lifestyle for a long time. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the birds from Platinum Heroes are like something that you'd find on a Shopify website.
Yeah, actually, I can see that, right? You just like, get your metal birds today. Perfect for scaring off other birds, I guess. So.
Perfect for
display.
Smelting fodder for dragons.
Train your dragon to get out of it. Okay, we're done.
I like to imagine that there's some poor people in the YouTube videos who are just like watching these games out of order or like skip some of the other series and have no idea what we're talking about.
What is going on? Well, you just clicked on the Twitch chat. Clicked on Twitch in the last 20 minutes too, right? I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, Scarlet opens pool first. Eggs actually opens completely gasless, which is really not common anymore. Like there was a time where you'd play gasless sometimes, and you go obviously for the wall off a late third hatch because you don't have link speed to protect it. And you kind of just wall off and go roaches. Nowadays, a lot of people, if you're going to play like that, you don't go gasless, you go speedless. So you still get the first 100 gas because you want to go and... you can fake speed maybe, but also you just go into a fast lair and you can get roach speed or fast +1 missiles. Like, there's just reasons to use the gas. And a lot of the times, the economy trade-off isn't worth the benefit you gain from, having that faster upgrade. So... interesting to kind of go gasless, fully scouted, I believe, by Scarlet as well. So she's fully aware it's gasless. Like I say, it's just not really the norm. And I mean, Scarlet can put her third hatch down, and because Scarlet knows, look at her gas, she does not need to start Ling speed because there's no threat of Ling speed from Eggs. And so immediately she's just ahead because she's doing exactly what Eggs is doing with a third hatchery already down, and her own roaches will come out in very good numbers because she will have a ton of gas already. So... to put it bluntly, this is a horrible opening for Eggs because it's been spotted and Scarlet can respond perfectly.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. And I think it's something that I think is really tough because Scarlet, I think of many of the players out there, I think she's just very good at knowing and understanding the game, the way that things work. There's sometimes that she'll falter in other ways, like maybe she won't scout something or she'll get fooled or she'll overthink something. But when it comes to things like this, where it's like she sees everything that's going on, she's familiar with like how the trade-offs and everything work, she's really good at just picking the right way to punish particular styles or build orders and stuff. So yeah, this is already not the most amazing start here for Eggs, and Scarlet, already kind of a favorite player coming into this, is going to be starting from a pretty comfortable spot.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you can see like obviously Eggs again, like the slightly faster +1, the slightly faster roach speed, but it's not that much faster, and Scarlet just has a 9 worker lead and a third hatchery done. But I mean, that's the difference. Like, yeah, Eggs, you still have all of your things coming up quickly. Of course you do. That was your plan. But Scarlet has all the same things with like a 10-second delay on +1 and a massive eco lead. Like, it is just night and day the difference in this game, and it is just like an outdated build from Eggs, which I would have loved it. And in a different universe where Scarlet didn't get the scout, I'm like, oh my god, I love it from Eggs. It's so unseen, it's so unknown. Like, who does this anymore? It's a perfect way to get an advantage. You can't let the Ling in. You can't let a scout. And obviously the pool first helps Scarlet scout as well. And Maybe it's just that knock-on effect where just Eggs got a bit unlucky here. It's not over. You can still play out of this. We're going to see a Spire from Eggs, which will mix this up. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. He's definitely playing from behind.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning that even little things like Scarlet actually did cut a couple of the extra like safety roaches that Eggs went for fairly early on when Eggs was basically just finishing up or starting up the lair. Started up for roaches when they were still on like 35-ish drones or something. Scarlet was just like, yeah, I'm going to go to like 50, 60 drones and then I'll start making roaches. So even just getting out a couple extra workers, there's a point in time where Scarlet was up like 12, 13 workers. And that was with more workers in production for her than, you know, Eggs had. So she ended up getting even a little bit further ahead. Now we even have a little bit of a supply block as one of the Overlords goes down to the Ravagers there. So Scarlet getting even a little bit better of a lead in terms of like the army supply. You can see it's 66 army supply to 32. Eggs, of course, it does have the Spire finishing up, but supply block, so that gets delayed. But also, there's only maybe like enough gas for what, 5, 6 mutas?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, 6 meters on the way. Scarlet doesn't know about the meters, so she is going, but she's going to stop to kill the rocks, and that's going to give Eggs a bit more time. This is just going to be a question of how long does it take Eggs to clean up these roaches. I think too long. I think Scarlet gets a lot of damage done before these roaches and Ravagers get cleaned up. I think this third hatchery at the very least dies. Burst of Files might cancel a couple of the mutas as well. Cancels one of them. And now Scarlet sees that she also gets a bit of reaction time herself, so she can begin to prep up a Hydra Den. She can obviously build some stuff on the other side. And she just has so much that it's not like there's a roach wall to buy time for the mutas to deal damage. So she is just going to kind of move on through. And yeah, eventually this gets cleaned up, but she finds mega damage in the process.
Yeah. If there were actually more Ravagers alive, they could have actually, they were starting to go after the Overlords that were all stacked on up and could have even supply blocked Eggs even further. But yeah, Scarlet, she may not even get cleaned up over here before Eggs taps on out. The mutas are so slow to clean everything up. Scarlet already has a response basically back at home and can already deal with this low number of mutas. And Scarlet's not even cleaned up yet. In fact, with so many drones killed and now the rest of them running, Eggs isn't actually mining anymore. Yeah, there's the GG. Ah, that's a rough start to an already kind of rough series that Eggs basically really did need or wanted to win because, you know, Eggs, you don't want to be going down like 1 and 2. You don't want to be on that elimination spot. No,
you really don't, man. I just actually can't get over the fact I was kind of joking with speedrunning and stuff, but like we are actually like speedrunning Americas. Like, you know, like we had to wait a while to start this region, and like if we didn't have like a crazy PvP and maybe the TVZ go 3 games and our referee disappear instead of hosting game 3, like we might have had a longer break between regions than just Americas in total, which is a little bit ridiculous. As
yeah,
I love this. Our admin just hosted this game, and it's apparently Scartel versus Eggs. It's the Scarlet version of the cartel. I like that. It's the Scartel.
I like that.
We scout your builds and we just counter them immediately.
And it's definitely a scare to see what exactly Eggs is gonna have to go up against next, because, you know, I will say, as much as this has been a speed run. And like both of the series that we had before this, I think were like, they were speedrun, but also they were like really interesting or like fun games for certain ways. I think that last game, while it was kind of interesting, is just to see like how Scarlet got ahead initially. But I don't think it was that interesting of a game in the end. And it was like, wasn't close or anything like that. It was like Scarlet went for the attack, and you even mentioned, she didn't even know about the mutas. She just kind of like went for the attack and poked. And then I was like, oh, yeah, you don't have anything. Like, I just kill you now.
I think it's a fantastic example of just how well the players know the game, because I think Scarlet just said, hey, if you're doing this, a build that's not been done forever, she knew exactly what he was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew she was going to have a lead to justify attacking. And just so happened he was going for Spire as well, which it was like a bonus for Scarlet, really. But I think if you just enjoy seeing a really good read and a really good understanding of what to do, that was a great part of the game. How it played out, very boring. Like, it was obvious Scarlet's gonna win, right? There was, you know, it wasn't super fun. But like, if you can appreciate like really high level like moves and like, you know, reading of strategies and responses, it was absolutely, you know, a textbook response from Scarlet when she had the information. So that way, it's cool. Hatchery first this time from Scarlet. She's top right. Eggs is bottom left. Let's just skip the intros. We've already talked for like a minute, so. We can do this because we don't have an observer waiting to, you know, twitching on the Zumba.
Introduce the players.
Map is like, I will not observe until the players are introduced. It's just the way
I feel
it goes. Like they pay me for this, you know, guys.
One of these events, we're gonna see how long we can actually just edge Mapu on that and get him to truly just get full on antsy. See how far into the builder is before we finally get getting yelled at by like Mapu.
You know he twitches as well, like when you're like waiting to enter and he's like he does like a little zoom in. He's gonna be like, you notice me.
I feel like he's just gonna like drag the camera over the corner of the map and like sit there, like
and we
put us in timeout.
Well, when he goes to the tournament, he'll be like, we'll just talk about what's in the corner. Like, whoa, there's a planet back there, man, and there's strip lights on the side of it. Like, oh, these buildings are pretty, man.
Is that Andor or Endor?
This CVZ opens up mirrored this far this time. Eggs does decide to take gas. It was actually a little bit faster gas from Eggs. Minor difference, shouldn't really play out to be too meaningful, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, you can even look at the gas counts and stuff. It's literally like a 15-20 gas difference and stuff, which amounts to maybe about like 7-8 seconds faster or something along those lines with the Zergling speed upgrade. But Eggs doesn't seem like it's starting up Zergling speed, and that might be the more interesting aspect of what Eggs is doing. Is 150 gas is how much you need to do some fun stuff? No?
Yeah, if you have an Evo chamber, sure, but I think this might be the super fast lair and just skip speed, and kind of what I said last game is what we maybe usually see of like just going straight to roaches, but this time with the gas. So an alternate route Scarlet doesn't know, so she is going to get link speed of her own, starts the third hatchery, and yeah, the third hatch is still her advantage, but obviously if she spends that link speed, she doesn't have as fast of a lair herself or as fast as an upgrade, and that's where Eggs can absolutely get into an advantage too. So possibilities, and extra gas, still no lair though. Makes me almost wonder if there's going to be a fake upgrade and then we actually just like spam roaches. As he starts Carapace, that makes it feel like less of a fake, and then we just actually just play a Carapace like Roach Ling setup and maybe like a late Ling speed. When you play Carapace though, you usually have Ling speed because you play a Roach Ling, so I'm not fully convinced yet as to what we're exactly doing. There's Ling speed. Oh, maybe a fake roaches and you just flood with Lings and Carapace, so it's actually not roaches at all for a while. And you just fake out that it's going to be roaches, and in reality, it's actually going to be Lings, and then Scarlet's making roaches, and she gets caught off guard. Ooh, I like it.
Ah, there's that. That could be actually a really cool play there, and I actually am on board with something like that. 2 Lings, by the way, it is enough to take down. I think it's like 5 health every like 5 or 6 seconds of attacking. So you will see this hatchery constantly sitting at around 180 to 190. hit points if they kept attacking, but eventually, yeah, Eggs is able to clean that up.
Yep, pushes it back. He is actually building roaches too, so I was wrong on saying no roaches. I guess if there's gonna be no roaches, you maybe would have pulled out a gas or something, but yeah, gonna be roaches, Ling speed, and just I guess then just Roach Ling, and obviously hoping the Scarlet just doesn't necessarily realize how aggressive this turns out to be, and just obviously skips over. Eggs is now building a Roach Roaring in the back. Now, that's a fascinating development. The only reason I have for this is if you feel like you're gonna lose your Roach Roaring in the front.
Yeah. Oh, he can't fit out.
Yeah, he's walled in.
Oh,
okay.
That's. You know what? I should have, as a Protoss player, I should have recognized I was actually like a full wall.
That is.
Because I think that is something that's happened before. Like the Lings can fit out, but like
not the roaches.
The roaches, I think, can't. Right?
Yeah. So the roaches have to finish off the Roach Roaring, and we have a replacement. Okay. I mean, kind of a wild game, man. I mean, just so much to talk about.
I'm so excited for Scarlet to scout the Roach Roaring disappearing. We're like, what happened? Well, yeah, you're right. This is going to be an interesting one because the roaches have been spotted now by the Overseer. But Scarlet is like, I think in a lot of these situations, you want to hit before your opponent's economy or economic advantage is like paid off. Scarlet's had like a 16-ish drone lead for, I want to say, like almost 2 minutes. Eggs is backing off now.
Yeah. It's kind of awkward when you all in and your opponent has more army supply than you. Like the Carapace upgrade doesn't quite make up for that. Scarlet's now going to have Roach speed and +1 missiles. And this is all in because it's hatch tech, right? There's no lair.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like this was just like a friendly poke and well, I'm just going to go home and macro. You don't have a lair. So this is like, it's the entire game plan of Eggs game 1 and game 2 is just not working. Like, I liked the trickery and the ideas here, but maybe this time around we just try to do a little bit too much. It got a little bit too fancy because the streamlined version of this would have maybe been a lot better. Now instead, Scarlet's just going to make roaches and attack, and this time there's not even kind of mutas to hold on hope for, so we'll see if Eggs can hold this off, but Scarlet's up a good 40-ish army supply. It changed a little bit as a few more units started, so now 20, 30 army supply, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
TLDR, and here we go.
This is going to be very, very tough. +1 missile attack is still on the way there for Eggs, but Scarlet already has her own +1 missile to negate the armor upgrade Eggs has. Roaches just completely overpowering the roaches here of Eggs. Scarlet pushing on forward, and well, the reinforcements just not coming out fast enough. GG, Scarlet takes a quick 2-0.